Hey everyone, welcome back to English Podcast Journey. Today's topic is something every English learner should know: how to train both your brain and your mouth to speak English clearly and confidently. If you stay with us till the end, you'll understand why this is the secret to sounding natural, and we'll show you exactly how to do it step by step.
Most people focus only on learning words or memorizing grammar. But they forget that speaking is not just knowledge, it's a skill. Your brain has to think in English quickly, and your mouth needs to move in the right way to pronounce words correctly.
Think of it like learning to play a musical instrument. You can't just read about playing the piano, you have to train your fingers to move smoothly. Speaking English is the same. You need to train your mind to find words fast and your mouth to say them automatically.
In this episode, we're going to break it down for you. We'll talk about practical ways to train your brain, simple exercises to train your mouth, and daily habits that combine both so you can speak without hesitation.
So grab your headphones and a notebook if you want to take notes. And remember, if you find this helpful, please tap that like button to support our hard work and keep us motivated to bring you more useful English practice.
All right, let's get started. In our first point, we'll explain why your brain sometimes freezes when you try to speak English and how to fix it.
Let's begin with a situation everyone has faced. You know a lot of English words? You understand people when they speak slowly, but when it's your turn to talk, your brain suddenly goes blank. It's so frustrating, right?
Totally, and it's actually normal. Your brain freezes because speaking a second language is like juggling. You have to think about the words, the grammar, the pronunciation all at once and in real time. If you haven't trained for this, your brain panics and takes too long to organize your thoughts.
But here's the good news. You can fix this. One way is to train your brain with short daily speaking exercises. For example, every morning, try to describe what you're doing out loud in English. Say, I'm brushing my teeth now. I'm packing my bag. I'm leaving the house. This simple habit teaches your brain to grab words quickly.
Another trick is to practice with easy questions. Ask yourself questions like, what did I eat today? Or what's my plan for tomorrow? Answer them out loud without thinking too much about mistakes. This trains your brain to respond naturally.
Remember, you don't need perfect grammar when you're training fluency. The goal is speed and flow. Perfection comes later with practice.
All right, in the next point, we'll share exercises to train your mouth so you can pronounce words clearly and sound more confident.
Okay, now that you know how to get your brain working faster in English, let's talk about your mouth. Many learners know the right words, but struggle to say them clearly. That's because your mouth muscles also need training, just like your brain.
Exactly. English has sounds that might not exist in your native language. If your mouth isn't used to making those sounds, you might feel awkward or shy. But with the right exercises, you can fix this and speak more clearly.
One of the best exercises is to focus on difficult sounds. For example, the touch sound in words like think or this. Practice by repeating these words slowly in front of a mirror. Look at how your tongue touches your teeth.
Another great tool is tongue twisters. They might feel silly, but they really help your mouth move quickly and accurately. Try saying 33 thieves thought they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday. It's fun and good practice.
Also, don't be afraid to exaggerate at first. When you practice, say the words slowly and clearly, even if it sounds unnatural. This helps your mouth learn the correct positions.
Recording yourself can help too. Say a few sentences, then listen back. Compare it to how a native speaker says the same thing. You'll hear exactly what needs more practice.
So, training your mouth is just like training a muscle. The more you practice, the easier and more automatic it becomes. Next, we'll show you how to combine brain and mouth practice together for the best results. Okay, now that you know how to get your brain working faster in English, let's talk about your mouth. Many learners know the right words but struggle to say them clearly. That's because your mouth muscles also need training, just like your brain.
Exactly. English has sounds that might not exist in your native language. If your mouth isn't used to making those sounds, you might feel awkward or shy. But with the right exercises, you can fix this and speak more clearly.
One of the best exercises is to focus on difficult sounds. For example, the TH sound in words like think or this. Practice by repeating these words slowly in front of a mirror. Look at how your tongue touches your teeth.
Another great tool is tongue twisters. They might feel silly, but they really help your mouth move quickly and accurately. Try saying 33 thieves thought they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday. It's fun and good practice.
Also, don't be afraid to exaggerate at first. When you practice, say the words slowly and clearly, even if it sounds unnatural. This helps your mouth learn the correct positions. Later, when you speak at a normal speed, you'll sound smoother.
Recording yourself can help too. Say a few sentences, then listen back. Compare it to how a native speaker says the same thing. You'll hear exactly what needs more practice.
So, training your mouth is just like training a muscle. The more you practice, the easier and more automatic it becomes.
Next, we'll show you how to combine brain and mouth practice together for the best results.
So now you know how to train your brain to think faster and your mouth to pronounce clearly. But the real magic happens when you combine both. This is what makes your speaking sound fluent and natural.
A simple way to combine brain and mouth practice is by using short speaking routines. For example, pick a topic like your daily routine, your weekend plans, or your favorite movie. Speak about it out loud for 1 or 2 minutes without stopping.
Don't worry about mistakes. The goal is to keep your brain thinking in English while your mouth keeps moving. If you get stuck, pause, take a breath, and continue. Over time, you'll notice you stop pausing so much.
Another great exercise is storytelling. Pick a short story, maybe something that happened to you yesterday, and tell it out loud in English. This trains your brain to build sentences quickly and your mouth to follow smoothly.
And of course, our favorite method, shadowing. Listen to a short clip of a native speaker and repeat what they say at the same time. Shadowing forces your brain to listen fast and your mouth to copy fast. It's double practice in one step.
If you do this daily, even for just 5 to 10 minutes, you'll see a big difference in how natural your speaking feels. It's all about building that connection between your thoughts and your voice.
Next, we'll share easy ways to add this combined practice to your daily routine without feeling stressed or overwhelmed.
And if you're finding this helpful, remember to like this video and subscribe to English Podcast Journey. Your support means so much to us.
All right, you're probably wondering, how can I fit all this practice into my busy day? The answer is keep it short, simple, and consistent. Daily practice works best when it's easy to stick to.
Start by choosing one small time block in your day. For example, right after you wake up, while having breakfast, during a walk, or before going to bed. Even 5 minutes is enough if you do it every day.
Pick one activity for each session. Maybe shadowing today, describing your day tomorrow, and a short storytelling session the next day. Rotating exercises keeps your mind fresh and helps you practice different skills.
Another idea is to link practice to an existing habit. For example, every time you brush your teeth, think of one sentence in English describing what you'll do next. Or talk to yourself in English while cooking or cleaning.
If you have a mirror, use it. Speaking while looking at yourself helps build confidence. You can see your mouth shape and check if you're saying sounds clearly.
Many learners think they need 1 full hour to practice. But small daily moments are better than waiting for perfect study time that never comes. 5 to 10 minutes a day is realistic and powerful.
So the key is don't overthink it. Attach your brain and mouth practice to everyday actions and repeat them daily. It becomes automatic, like brushing your teeth.
Next, we'll talk about how listening more in English supports your brain and makes your speaking practice smoother. Let's dive into that.
Let's talk about one thing many learners overlook: listening. If you want your brain and mouth to work well in English, you must listen a lot. Listening is like feeding your brain good examples of how real English sounds.
When you listen regularly, your brain learns the rhythm, the intonation, and the natural word connections. This makes it much easier when you try to speak, because your brain already knows how phrases should sound.
Think about kids learning their first language. They listen for years before they ever say their first full sentences. It's the same idea for you. The more you hear English, the more familiar and comfortable it feels.
But don't just listen passively. Be an active listener. That means paying attention to how words are linked and how speakers stress certain parts of a sentence. You can even repeat short phrases out loud as you listen.
One great tip is to choose audio that matches your level but still challenges you a little. Podcasts, TV shows, or YouTube videos with clear speech are all great options. Listen while commuting, exercising, or doing chores.
If you want to push yourself more, write down interesting phrases or expressions you hear and use them in your next speaking practice. This way, you connect listening and speaking in a useful way.
Remember, your listening is the fuel for your speaking. The better your ears are trained, the faster your brain works and the more confident your mouth feels when you speak.
Up next, we'll share some fun ways to practice speaking even if you don't have anyone to talk to.
Now, we often hear learners say, "But Emma, I don't have anyone to practice English with." Trust me, you don't need a partner every time. There are plenty of fun ways to practice speaking alone.
One of my favorites is the mirror talk. Stand in front of a mirror and speak to yourself as if you're talking to a friend. Describe your day, your plans, or how you feel. Seeing yourself talk helps you feel less shy and more confident.
Another fun idea is to pretend you're a TV host or a YouTuber. Pick a topic you like, set a timer for 2 or 3 minutes, and talk about it out loud. You can even record yourself and watch it later. You'll learn a lot from your own performance.
Role-playing works too. Imagine you're at a restaurant ordering food in English, or pretend you're at the airport asking for directions. Act out these little scenes by yourself. It might feel silly at first, but it's a great brain and mouth workout.
And don't forget about reading aloud. Pick a short story, an article, or even song lyrics and read them clearly. This helps you practice pronunciation and train your mouth muscles while you enjoy content you like.
Finally, use voice notes. Open your phone's recorder and talk for a few minutes each day. Listen back and notice what you said well and what you can improve next time.
So even without a partner, you have many ways to speak English daily. The more you talk, the stronger the connection between your thoughts and your words becomes.
Next, we'll share how to measure your progress so you stay motivated and see real improvement.
So you've been practicing daily, combining brain and mouth exercises, and maybe even talking to yourself in the mirror. But how do you know you're actually improving? Measuring your progress is super important to keep your motivation high.
One simple way is to record yourself regularly. Pick a short topic, speak for 1 or 2 minutes, and save that audio. Do this once a week. After a month, listen to your first recording and then your latest one. You'll be surprised by how much smoother and clearer you sound.
Another method is keeping a speaking journal. Write down topics you spoke about each day and note what was easy or difficult. You'll notice patterns in what you forget or struggled to say, which helps you focus on weak areas.
If you have a trusted friend or a teacher, ask them for feedback once in a while. They can tell you if your pronunciation is clearer or if your sentences sound more natural. Sometimes others notice improvements we don't see ourselves.
Also, pay attention to your confidence. Do you feel less nervous when speaking? Are you hesitating less? Small changes like these mean your brain and mouth are getting used to working together naturally.
Another sign of progress is understanding native speakers more easily. If you notice you catch more words when watching movies or listening to podcasts, that's proof your listening and speaking muscles are stronger.
So, track your progress weekly, celebrate small wins, and use what you learn to keep improving. It's motivating to see how far you've come, even in just a month.
Up next, we'll talk about how to stay consistent and make this training a long-term habit without losing interest.
Now you know how to measure your progress. But there's one more thing you need to succeed: consistency. Many learners start strong but stop after a few weeks. So how do you make this speaking practice a real habit?
First, keep it short and simple. Don't force yourself to practice for an hour every day if it feels too hard. 5 to 10 minutes daily is enough, and it's easier to stick with.
Next, tie your practice to something you already do. For example, every morning after brushing your teeth, do your mirror talk for 3 minutes. Or every evening before bed, record a short voice note about your day.
Some learners find it helpful to set reminders. Put a sticky note on your mirror, or set an alarm on your phone that says, "Speak English now." Little nudges help you remember until it becomes automatic.
Also, keep things interesting. Don't practice the same way every single day. One day shadow a podcast, the next day talk about your plans, the next day read aloud from a book. Variety keeps your mind fresh and curious.
Reward yourself for sticking with it. Maybe mark an X on a calendar for every day you practice. When you hit a week or a month without missing a day, treat yourself to something nice. It feels good and builds momentum.
And most importantly, forgive yourself if you miss a day. It happens to everyone. Just pick it up again the next day. What matters is not giving up.
Up next, we'll talk about using real-life situations to train your brain and mouth naturally without extra effort.
Let's make your practice feel real and useful. One of the best ways to train your brain and mouth is by using English in your actual daily life. This way, you practice without needing extra time or a special lesson.
For example, try thinking in English when you shop. While walking in the store, say in your mind or quietly to yourself, "I need milk, bread, and fruit. Where is the cheese section?" This trains your brain to use English for real tasks.
When you meet someone who speaks English, even if it's just to say, "Hello, how are you?" don't be shy. Use that chance. Small conversations build your confidence step by step.
If you work or study, try to think in English about your tasks. If you write an email or prepare a report, imagine explaining it in English. Even talking to yourself while working counts as valuable practice.
Another tip is to change your phone or social media to English. This sounds simple, but it helps your brain get used to reading and understanding English words naturally every day.
Also, talk to yourself when you're alone. For example, while cooking, say what you're doing. I'm chopping vegetables. Now I'm boiling water. It feels funny at first, but it connects English with daily actions.
These little habits turn your everyday routine into practice time. You don't need to find extra study hours. You just live your life in English bit by bit.
Next, we'll wrap everything up with our final thoughts and a little motivation to keep you going. Let's finish strong.
Wow, we've covered so much today. From training your brain to think faster, to getting your mouth comfortable with clear pronunciation, to combining both in real life, you now have all the tools to speak English more confidently.
The truth is, learning to speak a new language is a journey, not a race. Some days you'll feel great and fluent. Other days you might feel stuck or shy. That's completely normal for everyone.
The secret is to keep going, even on days when you don't feel like practicing. Remember, your brain and mouth are like muscles. The more you use them, the stronger and smoother they work together.
Celebrate small wins too. Maybe today you spoke a little faster, or you used a new word naturally. These small victories add up to big improvements over time.
And don't compare your progress to other people. Everyone has a different starting point and a different speed. Focus on your own growth. Be proud of every step you take.
If you ever feel discouraged, listen to this podcast again. Remind yourself why you started and imagine how amazing it will feel when you speak English naturally and confidently in any situation.
We believe in you. You have everything you need. Now it's just about daily practice and a positive mindset.
Thank you for spending your time with us today on English Podcast Journey. Keep training your brain and mouth every single day. And step by step, English will become part of you.
Take care and keep speaking. You've got this.